All right, guys, toying around. Welcome back. This is Eric here with Guitarsenal, and we're checking out a really cool little piece of gear here, and this is new from Keeley Electronics. Robert Keeley's always on the forefront of coming up with some really cool circuits, right? And one of those now is his DDR. It's his drive, delay, and reverb, okay? So he's kind of taking a few nods from maybe some of the Strymon products where, you know, Strymon's been coming out with some of their pedals such as the Strymon Flint and other pedals within that line that have kind of a dual fashion setup here where you've got, you know, in this case, a trim and a reverb, and you're kind of mixing two pedals into one and just making a nice compact unit that's very convenient for people that are just looking for a variety of sounds in one pedal, okay? That's what this pedal sort of accomplishes. You've got a drive control on your right that can be switched on and off, and then of course a reverb / delay. Right now it's set up as a reverb. Let's give that a listen. Let's disengage the drive, which I've got just set up for a gentle kiss. We're running a 1968 Super Reverb. This is a 56 reissue custom shop Fender Stratocaster with Fender Fat 50s pickups, okay? Hopefully I'm in tune after that bending there. Pretty cool. Okay, the reverb you hear, just a nice little splash from the Keeley, okay? Let's listen to the drive side as it's set. Here's the drive signal. All right, so very expressive, okay? It can really respond well to your picking dynamics. Really cool, okay? I'm gonna go through the instructions just a little bit, and I like that. Real simple instruction manual, straight to the point, brass tacks, I like this. All right, so the blend control controls the amount of delay or reverb on the wet side of the DDR. The time adjusted the delay time in reverb mode, it's a tone control. And that tone control, I would imagine, only controls the tone of the wet repeats. All right, so the actual reverb itself, I don't think it really imparts much change on your signal. We'll check that in a second. Decay controls the feedback length of the delay or the reverb. The vintage and modern switch switches between an analog style delay and a spring reverb on the left, or digital delay and plate reverb on the right. So right now we have it set to the vintage mode, which is giving us currently a kind of vintage style reverb. Spring reverb, okay? Let's see, the wet switch turns the wet delay or reverb side on or off, all right? That's our left switch. The delay switch obviously controls, let's see, to select the delay or the reverb, and that switch is in the middle. So right now it's set to reverb. Let's see, level controls the overall volume of the drive side of the DDR. Tone adjusts the tone, obviously, of the overdrive side. Drive adjusts the gain, obviously. Okay, and then the style switch selects between crunchy, modified, breaker style overdrive on the left, or a lead screamer style of overdrive on the right. It's currently set to the left, which I would imagine when they say breaker, they probably mean more of a blues breaker, okay? And on the right, they're saying a screamer style, so they're obviously referring to a famous scream pedal that we know as a tube screamer. So I'm gonna imagine that right is going to be a little more low gain and left will be higher gain for the sweep of the knob, of the drive knob. The style, all right, we already discussed that, and then obviously the drive switch turns it on and off. All right, and there's some controls on the back of the pedal. In off mode, the DDR is in true bypass, and on mode, the DD's wet side offers trails when the effect is disengaged. I'm not sure what that means. I'd have to listen to that. And then a TRS insert switch using your TRS cables. I guess that's to run stereo, or the stereo outputs. No, just in and out. Maybe that's what that's for. Okay, let's give it a listen. I'll tell you what, let's get on the delay side, leave the knobs where they're set, leave it to the analog delay. Let's get over the tube screamer side. We'll leave the pedal engaged, and let's just see what we come up with here. Now, I don't have any reverb, but this is just delay. Sorry, I had to get in tune there. I heard the string a little out there on the high E. All right, here's where we got it set right now. We're on the tube screamer side, and then we're on the vintage delay. Very warm and airy, and not harsh or bitey or anything. Just a very nice, pretty sound. Okay, let's try switching that drive and get a little hotter on the drive. On the breaker side, leave our delay there. Now, one minor, I guess, kind of thing that I would consider, I wouldn't call it a complaint, just a difference in the features. You cannot run the delay and reverb together. It just seems to me that having a drive and delay pedal together, I know a lot of people are really picky about their drive pedals. Now, this drive does give you a couple of options. Now, maybe you're the kind of guy that doesn't play with overdrive often. You just need a little kiss for a certain thing in a show. Like maybe you're in an R&B band. You just maybe need a little bit of dirt every now and then. This is a perfect pedal to be able to play with modulations and your drives. If you're playing like maybe in a funk band or a country band and you just need a one-trick pony pedal to get a few sounds for a couple of songs, I could see it being really cool for that, especially if you got a compact board and you're trying not to take up a lot of room with a bunch of extra pedals that you just don't need or don't use, okay? So let's give it a listen with the breaker side. You're using that trim arm, you can get almost some quasi-modulation going in there to change the pitch. Really, really cool sounding setup there. Probably a little outside of the realm of what I would normally use, but really, really cool sound. All right, let's leave it on the breaker side, get our drive up a bit. I'm gonna bring that level down just a scotch. Our tone is a little bright, bring that down just a hair. Let's leave it on the delay side and switch over to the modified side. I guess the modern side is what I really mean. And let's get the decays up a bit, the blend down a little lower, and get our time up. And see if we can get almost a, see, that blend is a really important control for the delay side. Let's see how this sounds. See how you can really use that blend to dial in like just a splash if you want? All right, so here we've got a little bit more distortion, okay, on the breaker side, and just a nice tail off with a bare amount of blend in there just to give it a nice kiss on the back end of the note. Let's give that a listen. I apologize for that. I've been knocking this guitar out of tune. I typically don't play a Strat that's set up to actually use the trim in this way. So I have a real heavy, right and left hand, so I'm probably knocking the guitar out of tune. I apologize. All right, let's continue the test. Electric Spanish, boy. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get back on the reverb side. Let's see how extreme the reverbs can get. Let's get that blend kind of high and just really get these knobs up and get some kind of spacey reverb sound. All right, the tone's about as high as I'm willing to go. Let's get on kind of a chimey, low drive setting. We'll leave the level where it's at. And I'll tell you what, to get even more chime, let's get back on the tube side, tube screamer side, and just give this a listen really quickly. Let's do it. That's a very beautiful sound. If you're looking for that kind of spacey thing, it can really get into a wide variety of different tonal, territories there. So guys, we could really noodle on this thing all day long, but hopefully that gives you an idea of the different drive sides, some of the tones you can get. I'll tell you what, one thing we didn't do, let's go high on the drive on the tube screamer side. I'm going to bring that level down just a scotch. Let's turn our blend down on the reverb just a little bit. And let's get our time and our decay up. So we're still kind of spacey, but maybe by turning the blend down, we're getting a little bit lower on the spectrum of having that kind of in your face. So let's get our drive up and our spaciness down and see how that sounds. And I'll play a similar style to what I just played, kind of open and airy chords, maybe a few lines. Let's give that a listen. I mean, depending on what you're looking for, that's pretty legit. Very musical, very beautiful, very nice fidelity. Some people are not fans of, like, you know, lots of reverb or lots of echo, but this is a great pedal that can really blend those two territories for you if you want. Can get into some pretty insane but musical territory. Guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Remember, we post every Monday and Friday here on Guitarsenal. Make sure you tune in for our videos. Click that notification bell, comment, like, share, subscribe, all that happy business. This is a great pedal. I love it. Robert Keeley's delivered again. Wonderful job, Mr. Keeley. Okay, we're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna make a little bit more racket. Man, those chords are just so big and airy and musical and inspiring, and it's just, that's what a pedal should do for you when you play through it, is make you want to make music. Beautiful. All right, guys, have a great day. I'm gonna make a little more racket. Excuse me, and let y'all get back to it. All right, here we are.